Welcome. Let's decode what your body is trying to tell you. Most people are taught to chase symptoms. If you're feeling fatigue, you take something for energy, i.e., caffeine or some other form of stimulant. If you have anxiety, you're trying to figure out ways to manage it. If you have digestive issues, you're avoiding specific foods. Does this sound familiar? But what if your symptoms aren't the problem? And yet they're the messengers. Today, we're going to show you how to read those messages. Once you understand the system, everything starts to make sense. Let's go ahead and begin. So first of all, who is this for? If you've tried multiple approaches with little results, or you feel like something deeper is being missed and you want to understand your body and not just manage symptoms, then this is for you. So first of all, let's clarify that this could be for anyone, symptoms or no symptoms, because oftentimes we all respond differently. We're going to cover that a little bit more in this webinar. So if you feel like you're doing everything right, you're trying all the supplements, diets, and protocols, but something still isn't clicking, or like your body is working against you, then of course you're not alone, because that's the reason why we are covering this today. What you'll discover is how your body actually works as a system, not separate parts, because we focus on the holistic scope of the individual. Your gut, brain, immune system, nervous system, detox pathways, they're all interconnected. When one is off, the others follow. So most people come to us after seeing multiple practitioners, the medical merry-go-round, spending thousands on protocols, including time, energy, and money, getting temporary relief, but no real answers. So why do my symptoms keep coming back? Here's the truth that most people never hear. Your symptoms are not the problem. Again, they're the signals that your body is not broken. It's just trying to communicate what needs to be addressed. So you can spend years trying to fix symptoms one by one, and not just years, but time, money, energy. Or you can identify the root cause driving them all. And that's where the real healing begins. So instead of asking, how do I get rid of this symptom? Start asking, what system is out of balance? Common symptoms that we see are brain fog, anxiety, poor sleep, bloating, gut issues, food sensitivities, fatigue, burnout, low motivation, inflammation, frequent illnesses, allergies, skin issues, swelling, sensitivity to toxins. Any of this sound familiar? Well, they may be related or they may seem unrelated, but they're often connected beneath the surface. So here's the shift. If you experience brain fog, bloating, poor sleep, food sensitivities, burnout, or any of the above, understand that symptoms don't happen randomly. They happen when systems become overwhelmed. So once again, the question isn't what symptom do I have? It's which system needs support. And these symptoms often point to the gut-brain imbalance caused by chronic stress or the HPA axis or other toxins such as parasites, mold, heavy metals, nervous system dysregulation, different symptoms because these are addressing what's causing the problem. Now we're going to discuss what is the cause, but it's pointing to these imbalances. So first use a simple analogy. Think of your body like a leaking bucket. You can keep pouring in more supplements, diets, doctor visits, medications, more diet trends. But if there's a hole, it's going to keep draining your wallet, your energy, your time, and so forth. The hole is the root cause. And the symptoms, of course, is what's spilling through. So if we fix the leak, the symptoms start to resolve naturally. So this is why people get stuck in the trial and error process, protocol hopping, supplement overload, practitioner burnout, spending more time and energy that they didn't have or that is overwhelming them with no lasting results. So what we focus on instead, rather than chasing symptoms, we focus on the holistic approach, reducing what's stressing your body, repairing key systems like gut and nervous system, restoring balance in the gut-brain connection, supporting your body's natural ability to heal in the right order so that we are fixing the leak. So many people come in struggling with focus issues, brain fog, low motivation, and mood swings, often being labeled as ADD or anxiety. But what's important to understand is this: these symptoms don't start in the brain alone. They're usually coming from deeper system imbalances like the immune system. So what this looks like is getting sick often, inflammation, allergies, or sensitivity. So when the immune system is off, the body stays in a constant stress state, like the fight or flight, which impacts brain function and focus. The digestive system includes a digestive irregularity, and symptoms may include bloating, gas, or other gastroenterology issues, reflux, constipation, or diarrhea. And if digestion isn't working, you're not absorbing the nutrients your brain needs, particularly for attention and mood. All right, now looking at the gut-brain axis, this is where things really connect, such as anxiety, brain fog, sleep issues, cravings. Yes, often our gluten cravings, bread, sugars, sweets, processed foods, and so forth. Your gut directly influences your brain chemistry. So when the gut is off, focus, mood, energy, and clarity suffer. So the nervous system is key for ADHD. This is going to be a big one: fatigue or burnout, headaches, trouble focusing, emotional ups and downs. So what often looks like ADHD is actually a dysregulated nervous system. The brain is stuck in overdrive, the fight or flight, and cannot slow down, or it's in shutdown and can't focus. So detox with the lymphatic system often includes skin issues, swelling, chemical sensitivities, and feeling sluggish or just toxic, like a toxic state. And sometimes it could also mean dealing with constant congestion and swollen lymph nodes. So when detox pathways are overloaded, it affects brain clarity, energy, and emotional stability. So here's the big picture. And what I want you to really take in is that symptoms overlap, systems interact, and most importantly, ADHD symptoms are often downstream, not the root cause. So instead of asking what's wrong with my focus or why can't I focus, we have to ask what system is out of balance, because when we support the right system, we can improve focus, mood, and energy. All right, hopefully that makes sense. If the problem isn't attention, then what's happening underneath? And the simple truth is that too many people are labeled with ADHD, anxiety, mood swings, and addictive behaviors. But the real issue is the brain chemistry imbalance, the chronic stress overload, the nutrient depletion, and particularly the poor detox and gut function. You're not broken. Your body is just trying to adapt. We're going to get into this a little bit more so you can understand why. So what's really happening is that your brain runs on chemistry. When your system is under stress, neurotransmitters drop, which are the happy chemicals, which affects our mood. Detox slows down, so we start to feel a little more run down. We start to feel sluggish. We start to feel maybe a little bloated. And then inflammation rises. And that's often when we feel pain. So the result is brain fog, low motivation, emotional ups and downs, and then those cravings, which also create dependency patterns. This is biology, not personality. So when symptoms get worse over time, which is because of the wear and tear, and as we age, because nutrients get more depleted, stress adds up, toxins are accumulating, and then recovery slows down. So symptoms don't come out of nowhere. They build quietly over time. And that's why high functioning people suddenly crash. So here's the reframe. We want to look at the old story as thinking that I am the problem to the new truth. My body is overwhelmed and needs the right support. And then these patterns are adaptive support, protective support, and reversible support. So when the body gets what it needs, symptoms often fade naturally. we're going to simplify this. Your body needs key nutrients to function, particularly for the brain. And one of the most important nutrients is the activated folate, the L-methylfolate. Without it, brain chemicals can't balance, mood and focus suffer, and then the detox slows down, so we can't methylate. And then once again, we're seeing the same result in symptoms of anxiety, depression, and ADHD-like symptoms. And this is more common than people think. So why your brain feels off is because of these three chemicals that the brain relies on, and the deprivation of dopamine, which increases our motivation and focus, the serotonin, which increases our mood and our calming state, the norepinephrine, which is also going to influence our energy and alertness. And so when they're depleted, you might feel more stuck, unmotivated, or overwhelmed. And then you reach for those quick fixes such as caffeine, scrolling, social media, electronics, and so forth. It's not weakness, it's just compensation because we don't know what to do otherwise. So the real root pattern is seeing the chain reaction of these stress and toxins, poor diet or poor dietary management that creates more nutrient depletion, and then it precipitates more of the poor methylation, which is our processing system. So absorbing nutrients, eliminating waste material in our body that is creating neurotransmitter imbalance, and then once again, it precipitates more symptoms. The symptoms appear, and then we treat the bottom instead of fixing it from the top. So why neurotransmitters matter? These are our body's communication signals. In lay terms, they control mood, focus, sleep, digestion, stress response, everything that we're discussing. So when they're balanced, everything flows. But when they're off, everything feels harder. And then we feel as if we're not functioning. And the simple takeaway is that when your brain and body can communicate clearly on a holistic level, mental, physical, social, spiritual, healing becomes possible. And the real strategy is looking at the root cause approach. Instead of chasing symptoms again, we remove the triggers. So we're putting out the fire, right? So if a tree or home or forest fires, if it's on fire, we can only open up the windows, but the fire is going to continue, right? We need to put out the fire rather than just air it out. And then we have to look at how we can be in damage control by repairing the damaged systems from the fire. Then we restore balance and rebuild resilience. That's where healing and real true healing begins. It's not an overnight process, but these are the actual steps and the proper protocol. The hidden driver that most people miss is understanding the toxic load. It could be environmental, which are often due to mold and, yes, even heavy metals and chemicals, plastics, pesticides, vaccines, and so forth. And these don't just affect one system, they disrupt everything because they're foreign. So you can't out supplement a toxic environment. Sarah was 45 and she was experiencing brain fog, fatigue, which created more weight gain and hormone issues. She tried various gut protocols, various supplements, and she was becoming more stressed, not only at work, but just in her usual everyday to day life. She said she was feeling some small improvements and then she would plateau. But it wasn't until she came in and we were able to identify the real root cause was mold exposure. So once we were able to put her on the proper protocols and help her address it, everything started to work properly. So when progress stalls, we look upstream. We have to learn how to be the detective and ask what symptoms came first. What made things worse? What is the onset, the initial onset of these symptoms, and what keeps repeating? Well, how do we know to look for mold? How do we know to look for heavy metal? So it really helps if we have a simplified system. All right, the gut-brain connection simplified. Your gut is your second brain. And because we have so many neurons in our in our gut that they interact with our brain. And this produces mood chemicals, it regulates inflammation, and it has a direct communication to the brain. So if your gut is off, your brain feels it. If your brain is off, your gut feels it. So it's not just mental, again, it's physical, neurological, and biochemical. So when basic gut healing isn't enough, and you've cleaned up your diet, you've taken probiotics, you're trying to reduce stress, but you still feel stuck, this is where deeper issues show up, such as SIBO, candida, hidden infections, and then detox blockages. Now, mind you, my friends, this is also for our dear pets. This is very common and the same causes. So they will experience the same symptoms because of the same root issues. So remember, it's not your body that isn't healing, it's that something is being missed. And remember, food is not the enemy. It's not always about just what you eat. We're always turning to food instead of understanding that it's our blood sugar balance, our gut health, and then our detox capacity. Those are all the signifiers. And the same food can either help or harm depending on your internal environment. So the cycle is processed foods will translate to stress, creating blood sugar spikes, gut damage, inflammation, and then yeast imbalance. And that's the gut microbiome. And so we have to fix the environment, and then the symptoms can improve. If anyone is familiar with this germ and terrain theory, the germ theory attributes disease to specific microorganisms, while terrain theory emphasizes the body's internal environment as the key determinant of health. If the tank is dirty, the germ theory says medicate the fish. Terrain theory suggests to clean the tank. In a similar fashion, we're addressing the internal environment and not the external environment. We're not asking to medicate the body, we're asking to clean the body because the system is overwhelmed. And if they are signaling overwhelm, we're going to see poor communication and then unresolved root causes. So if you've been doing everything right, but still not seeing results, understand again, you're not the problem. You just need the right strategy. And this is exactly why we created this particular system, to help stop the guessing, to identify the root cause, and to give you a clear step-by-step path. And so inside our holistic wellness and detox membership plans, you'll learn how to decode your symptoms, support your gut and brain, restore energy and clarity, and then finally break the cycle. And this is what our programs and protocols are all designed to do. We focus on how we can decode your symptoms and align you to your own specific, tailored protocol. You can keep chasing the symptoms, or you can finally fix the leak. The choice changes everything. And your choice is the path to either lasting health and wellness, but your choice doesn't have to be confusing or overwhelming, because with the right support, guidance, and protocols, you can finally uncover those root causes, whether it's heavy metal toxins, whether it's mold, whether it's other pathogens that are causing the issue. We can help you identify it and restore balance so you can feel vibrant again. And this first step is choosing the membership tier that fits your goals and lifestyle. Tier 1 is the Holistic Detox membership for $47 a month. And this provides mini courses and workshops, live Q&A sessions, supportive healing community. The minute you join, you have access to content material that you can look at, that you can also discuss what others have been through on this path, that are what they're going through, that are maybe ahead of you. And then you also get access to the 21-day mind-body reset and manifestation system. That way you can do a 10-minute a day, either morning, to be able to start resetting your nervous system to get you out of fight or flight, and 20 set holistic detox protocol guides, as well as the MMTH or gene mutation health protocols. In tier 2, we have our holistic guided detox. This plan is $97 a month, and there's everything that's included in tier 1. However, we also include guided monthly focus themes, expanded wellness education resources, and then you also receive 30-minute one-on-one sessions that are booked quarterly. In tier 3, excuse me, these are tailored holistic detox protocols. This one's probably one of your best bangs for your buck because you received the personalized health strategy transformation, and it's everything in tier 2. We include the personalized holistic iridology analysis to identify root cause issues within the body systems, and we create the tailored treatment plan that's holistic. It's a mind-body treatment plan along with natural detox and nervous system reset protocols. And then you receive that monthly one-on-one holistic counseling along with everything that we discussed in tier 1 and 2. And then in tier 4, this is for those who are looking for everything in tier 3 and want the training or the certification and want to understand the system of how we are able to identify these particular systems, identify the root cause, and be trained in holistic iridology and functional medicine. It's the certification with the advanced mind body wellness training, the professional coaching, and mentoring. So you're going to go through this entire process like a participant or client. And then you will also receive the training so you can transform your health, receive the training and mentoring, and then have the business in a box and receive your accredited diploma. So you will walk away understanding why your symptoms are happening and which systems are actually involved so that you're working with the right. So you'll see where to start and where you will start seeing real lasting change. So when you support the right system, you'll begin to experience clearer thinking, better energy, improved digestion, and emotional stability. This is what people report the most. There's other symptoms, but these are the most common ones that we hear. And it's not because symptoms were treated, but because the body was repaired with the proper balance. So if this is already clicking for you, you'll want to go deeper into how to identify your specific patterns. This is exactly what we do inside our holistic iridology and root cause assessments. You can book based on the membership plans listed below, or you can visit www.liberatedliving.com/wellness plans. That's LIBER8ED. living.com/WELLNESSPLANS. All right, so really quick, we're just going to discuss the curiosity gap because here's the real question. Why do two people with the same symptoms need completely different solutions? This is why our work is very important. And I mentioned and promised that we would discuss this. But the answer is that their biology is different. And this is the educational and designed support that is tailored to everyone's specific needs. And this is why it's important to have this awareness because your body has unique detox capacity, unique stress responses, and unique gut function that affects different neurological patterns. And that's why we cannot use generic protocols and why they will fail every time. And this is where most programs get it wrong. They give you a protocol, they treat symptoms, and then they skip system prioritization. So we want to look at the specific body system. We do the opposite. For many people, this starts as curiosity, but then it becomes something more, a new way of seeing their health, a new way of understanding their health, and then a better and healthier path forward. So again, that's why we have created the Holistic Iridology and Root Cause Certification Program, where you can learn to decode symptoms at the system level and identify root causes quickly, apply targeted protocols, and understand behavior and biology together. We have a quick 4-step system for those who want to become practitioners or professionally trained and certified in this program that helps to simplify how we do this. And this is through decades of experience that we've developed the system. So this isn't just information, it's the ability to understand your own body deeply as well as your clients, and then help others with the confidence because we understand that when we know what we're dealing with, we don't become dependent on pharmaceuticals. We can actually begin to put the power in our own hands and we know what to do moving moving forward. And then it stops the guessing game, and we can start using this knowledge to empower ourselves. And you'll move from confused to clarity, and then from reacting to strategic. And then we'll remove the symptoms and become root-driven focused. So the next step is to choose your tier, and you can enter your email or unlock your path to lasting health and wellness, or you can choose your membership plan. Your personalized protocols, as well as community support and expert guidance, are available in each of these plans. So let's stop the guessing and start your transformation today. Again, you can visit that link, liberatedliving.com wellness plans, or you can explore these membership plans below.